truth. Standing in your truth takes practice. About finding out who you are is really important in the beginning anyway. So learning what you stand for, what your truths are, what your values are, your gratitude, your acceptance, and your attitude. Who are you is really what we're asking. And being able to stand in your truth and stand up and say, actually, I don't agree with it. This is how I feel about it. This is it from my perspective. And maybe your perspective is something they have not even thought about. And so being able to stand up in your truth is really important. To be able to say what you feel in a gentle way where people will take it on board and not get hurt. Now that's always the problem. People get defensive. And by speaking your truth, sometimes people go, oh my God, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. What have they just said to me? And they sometimes don't want to know the truth. So the truth is different from lies. The truth is as you see it. Well, perhaps you shouldn't have that such and such because it's detriment for your health. Inwardly, they know it. Outwardly, they don't want to admit it. It's like addictions. They know what it is and how bad it is, but having somebody say that to their faces, you've got a gambling problem. No, I haven't. You've got a gambling problem. And then they get defensive. No, I haven't. What do you mean by that? And getting defensive means it's probably the truth. So being able to stand in your truth, say your truth, does take practice. It takes practice to be able to vocalize what you need to say. Sometimes actually it's worth just keeping quiet. There's many a communication said in the nothingness. The space between the notes, right? And so by standing in your truth, you should be able to stand tall. People and friends may change as you're stepping into it more and more often. Your friends will probably change because you're changing, and that's okay. People meet each other for a day, a week, a month, a season, or a year, or forever. And so people who grow with you will probably stick with you. Whereas people, when you move from different circles, perhaps they were at first quite shallow, didn't really want to have deeper meaningfuls, and it wasn't really enough for you. And now you've come into a different bunch of friends where deeper meaningfuls is really something that you can get hold of and really enjoy just self-discovery. And the discovery of beyond the veil, of seeing things that you never thought you'd see and being okay about it. And so sometimes as your skill set opens, your sixth sense opens, you see beyond the veil. Speaking the truth to them, maybe you got channeled to the truth for them. That's interesting. And being able to say that truth to them, that takes practice. And so on your workbook, again, think of a time when you needed to say something. Did you stand in your truth? Was it easy for you? Was it eloquent? Was it understandable? Did that person take it on board, or did they have a front? Did they have defensive? Did they come back at you harder and faster, really being defensive? So have a reflection on a conversation you might have had with somebody where you were trying to speak your truth as you see it. How did it go? What do you notice? What would you do differently next time? So these things are interesting. And again, having that diary, having that workbook, looking back on how you are progressing as you're doing this course. Look back and see how you feel from the beginning to the end. What was it when you stood in your truth? How did it make you feel? And was there a bit of fallout? But now it's come right. Is there a resolve? Is that friend or person come back to go, and actually, I really appreciated you saying that. So that's great, which means that gives you an affirmation, a confirmation that you're actually going down the right path and probably using the right language. And that's also really important. Using the right language, how you deliver that message. That's what's good. So have a look, have a think, have a reflect. Write it down in your notebook, in your spiritual diary or your workbook, and all those pieces of paper that you've got as we're going through the course. And see how much you've changed. Talk to you soon.